Olá, tudo
Hello
bem?
to all of you who follow
Você
our
que tem
videos.
acompanhado nossa série
In this
sobre
series of
sonhos,
videos about
já sabe
dreams,
da
we
importância do
mentioned how
mistério para o
important dreams are for
autoconhecimento.
self-knowledge.
Você tem
If
percebido
you
ou
have
pode
been
ter
doing the
percebido
practices to remember
que
your dreams, you may
existe
have
uma
noticed that
dificuldade
remembering your astral
muito grande,
experiences may not
às
be so
vezes,
easy.
em lembrar dos seus próprios
How do we
sonhos?
overcome this problem?
Como podemos resolver esse
Stay with
problema?
us and we will
Fique
explain more
conosco
about it.
e nós vamos explicar alguns detalhes sobre isso.
There is
Existe
a
uma
saying
frase
that man is known by
certa que
his
diz que
dreams.
o homem se
If you have
conhece
been trying
pelos
to
seus
be more
sonhos.
conscious of your
Se você
dreams,
tem
or at
buscado
least have
ter
tried to
cada vez
remember
mais
your dreams as
consciência
a tool for
ou
self-knowledge
pequenos
so that you can
detalhes dos seus
understand
sonhos
and discover the
como uma
hidden
ferramenta
desires
para o
that exist
autoconhecimento,
inside yourself,
para que você
if you
possa
have applied the
entender,
practices that we
descobrir,
have been
compreender,
teaching to
você pode
obtain
ter
lucid
percebido já um
dreams
problema em
and
sua vida.
conscious astral
O
projection,
problema que
you may have
existe
already encountered a problem,
comum e recorrente em várias
a problem
pessoas
that is very
é a
common, which is the
dificuldade em se
difficulty
lembrar
in
dos seus
remembering our
próprios
dreams.
sonhos. Muitas pessoas dizem, puxa, eu
Many
não
people
sonho.
say, I don't dream,
Dificilmente existe uma
but there
pessoa
is no
que
one
passa
who
uma
does
noite
not dream.
toda sem ter
But
nenhuma
very
experiência
typically,
dos
people do
sonhos.
not remember
Por que
their
passa
astral
tanta tempo
experiences the next
que
day.
não recorda dos seus
That's
sonhos?
due to
Por
several
vários
reasons, and we would
motivos
like to
que
explain some
muitas
of
vezes
those
nós
today.
gostaríamos de
We'll also
explicar
give
e
you some
perceber
tips
hoje
that we could
e
apply
mais
to
muitas
overcome
outras
this
dicas
problem.
práticas que nós poderíamos fazer
The
para
first thing
perceber
to take into
que
consideration
registra
is that the
os
memory
sonhos que
that is
nós
used to
vivemos no
register
mundo
the
dos
dreams that
sonhos,
we
no mundo
live in the
astral,
world of
das outras
dreams or the
dimensões,
astral world
não é
is not the
a
same
mesma
memory
memória
that we
que
use to
nós
remember
temos
what we
para
live here in
registrar
the
os
physical
eventos que
world.
nós vivemos aqui no
In
mundo
other words,
físico, no
there
mundo
is a
material.
mechanism
O
that
que eu quero dizer com
processes the
isso?
memory
Que,
of the
claro,
dreamer
existe
in the physical brain.
existe
However,
que
this
mecanismo
mechanism
que
does not
registra
always
o
work
corpo
very well.
vital ou o corpo etérico.
More specifically,
Esse
the
corpo
part of our
etérico
organism that
é
is
formado
responsible
por
for
éteres,
registering
como
or
próprio
recording
nome
our
diz,
dream memories in this body
quatro éteres
is
em cada
found in an
éteres, não como esse
intermediary
éter que
body,
nós conhecemos na
or the
ciência
body between the
hoje em
physical
dia,
and astral
senão tem
bodies, typically
uma
known as the
energia
vital
vital
body.
e que tem diferentes
This vital
frequências
body is also
vibratórias,
called the etheric
consequentemente,
body, which is
o
formed by
estudo
4 ethers,
metafísico da
or 4
ciência
different types of energies, which are very unique
que o nosso
vibrational
corpo etérico é
frequencies.
formado por quatro tipos de éteres
Metaphysical
normalmente
Gnostic
vibratórios
science
diferentes
explains
que estimulam
that our
o
etheric
corpo
body is
físico
formed by 4
funcionar,
different
que é
types of ethers,
responsável por estimular
4
o
different
metabolismo do
vibrations of
corpo
vital
físico,
energy.
estimular a
One
todas
of
as
them is the
funções
chemical
físicas e
ether,
manter
which
essa
is
energia
exactly that part of the
eletromagnética
vital
que
energy
vem,
that
por exemplo,
stimulates
de
the physical body to
éter
function.
químico. E nós temos o éter de
The
vida,
chemical ether
que
is
é
also
justamente
responsible for
o
stimulating the
campo de ter
metabolism
vida,
of our
porque
body,
ele é
as
o
well as all
responsável
functions
pela
that sustain
atração,
life.
a atração dos
The difference
corpóreos
between us
para
and a
gerar a
deceased
vida.
person is the
O éter de
presence
vida
of
está
this chemical ether
relacionado
that is
com a
vibrating and
atração
nurturing our
muscular,
physical body,
tipo
generating
sexual,
the heat
que
that
une
runs through our muscles, our
natureza,
veins,
como
and
segundo os
organs.
alquimistas, como a
This
luz
heat of
astral,
life is
como o
what is
azófilo, como a
absent in a
magnésio,
dead person.
Elifas Levi, por exemplo,
We also have the ether of life,
superiores, digamos
which
assim,
is responsible for the attraction between the opposite sexes to generate life.
esses dois
The
éteres
ether
nós
of
podemos
life
dizemos de
is
tipo
therefore
superior,
responsible for the
porque
attraction we
justamente
feel when we fall in love, or the sexual attraction, the desire that brings people together so that families can be formed. This ether is strictly related with magnetism and was also known in ancient cultures as the astral light. Eliphas Levi, a great esoteric teacher, said that this ether can be mastered, and whoever learns to do so is able to attract or repel whatever he wants, thereby becoming the master of his own nature. In today's topic, we pay special attention to the two remaining superior ethers called the luminous and reflective ethers. These two ethers are more specifically related with the functions of the consciousness. Luminous means light, knowledge, conscience, understanding. This is the ether that grants us the ability to be aware of all the things we do in our life, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This ether allows us to be aware while we dream, to have lucid dreams, to stay vigilant, to perceive details, colors, etc. The reflective ether registers or records in our physical body or in our brain all the memories of what we experienced internally, in the world of dreams, in the mental world, etc. Everything that we experience is registered by this reflective ether and is stored in the physical brain. To understand how these four ethers are integrated with one another, we have to think in terms of priorities. Let me explain. Our vital body is not working at 100% of its capacity. Instead, due to the way we live, surrounded by noise, listening to unharmonious music, breathing toxic air, and having bad eating habits, etc., our vital body is being constantly pushed to its limit. For this reason, Mother Nature has to divert all our energies to sustain our life, and therefore the two inferior ethers consume most of our energy, and in turn, very little is left to nurture our luminous and reflective ethers, which are the ones that we need to wake up in our dream. These are the ethers which have to be active so that we can remember the experiences we have outside our body, in our dreams, and our spiritual experiences. The little energy that our vital body has is barely enough to keep us alive, and we can also see how we age faster than previous generations did, all as a result of the way we live. In other words, if our vitality is low, if we don't have a good diet, if we don't breathe correctly, if we don't rest the right way, if we listen to noisy music, if we don't have a discipline in the way we live, then we will not remember our dreams, let alone awaken our consciousness. The same happens with stress. That's because stress burns the superior ethers and prevents them from working well, and as a result, nature has to spend more resources to keep us alive. We do dream and we do have experiences, but it's impossible to remember them due to our low energetic performance, due to the inability of our ethers to work the way they should. So what can we do about this? First, we have to change our life. We have to learn how to rest well. We need to have quality in the way we rest. There is a biological schedule that is established by nature. It's been scientifically proven that if we go to sleep after midnight, the revitalization and regeneration of our vital body is not the same. The best time to rest is from 9 p.m. until midnight. You can see that when the body is functioning normally and healthily, as soon as it starts to get dark, the pituitary gland starts to secrete melatonin, and we start to feel sleepy. So there is an ideal time for rest in order to revitalize our vital energy, which is from 9 p.m. until midnight. For this reason, if we go to bed after midnight, we're missing the best hours, and as a result, we can't be fully revitalized. If we go to bed past midnight only occasionally, there's no problem. Sometimes we have something that needs to be done, and for different reasons, we can't go to bed at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. However, if we stay up late constantly, it will impact us in the long term. We will be destroying our vitality, our energy, and this kind of damage is irreparable. The initial consequence of this is that we don't remember our dreams. Our ancestors knew about this, and so they would go to bed early. Rest should also take place when it is dark. In order to secrete melatonin, the pineal gland needs to be in the dark. It's like a sensor. If it perceives light, it does not secrete melatonin, or at least not in the quantity necessary to have a restful sleep. So our bedroom must be completely dark, with no candles or lamps, no street lights coming through the window, nothing at all, not even a small LED light coming from a cell phone or other electronic devices, as that is enough to impair the production of melatonin. So it's a good idea to disconnect all devices and to cover our windows before we go to bed. We also need silence, absolute silence. Our resting place should be a quiet place, an environment where only nocturnal animals are heard, like crickets or birds. But cars, music and other noises heavily impair our ability to recover our energy. Another important aspect is to avoid being exposed to stress on a daily basis. Stress, as we said, burns the energy of our luminous and reflective ethers. Therefore, we have to seek to live more calmly, with more balance on a daily basis, understanding that the constant rushing around results in anxiety and only serves to harm our own body. We have to live life with more tranquility and with more harmony. Natural medicines can also help us, such as vitamins, minerals, plants, and herbal medicines. For example, drinking valerian tea can help us to rest. Peruvian maca can help to regain vitality. A daily teaspoon of pollen is also very effective in helping us to strengthen our immune system. Eating walnuts, grapes, and almonds will also help us. These foods are generally rich in good fats, rich in omega-3, which are necessary to have a healthy brain. These foods will help us to increase our tolerance to stress, allowing us to prolong our physical and mental activity without getting tired. We also need to remove harmful ingredients from our diet, such as fizzy drinks, fried products like chips, refined products like sugar or rice. Everything associated with fast foods will only serve to damage our energy. Also bear in mind that being disorganized in the way we eat is catastrophic for our vitality. We should eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and avoid eating in between these 3 meals. When we snack in between meals, we force our body to start working hard just to process a few snacks. You can see how this wastes energy unnecessarily. Our breakfast should be rich and abundant. Our lunch as well, but dinner should be at 6 p.m. and preferably no more than a light meal. Another tip to help us recover our vitality is to shower our body with natural plants. We can prepare this at home. First, bring some aromatic plants to the boil, like rue, rosemary, roses, etc. Most any plant is fine. Use this extract to take a shower, and it will help your vital body to be revitalized. It is also advisable to shower in the morning, never during the night. If we incorporate all of these habits in our life, not only will we remember our dreams, but it will also help us to live better and healthier lives with more energy. We have to understand that waking up is a process that requires us to make certain adjustments in our lives, which at first might seem impossible, but in reality are very simple. We just need to understand why it's so important to change our habits and the way we live. Thank you all for your attention, and if you like this video, please give us a like, share it with friends or anyone who might be interested in these topics. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.